The Green UnConference 2021 welcomes everybody. Thank you for joining us from Facebook, and for everybody else present here today. Thank you for bringing your heartful, soulful presence to this beautiful, adventurous journey. Karla and I welcome our friends and our circle of tribes and consciousness that are gathering and growing together to create a more healed world and ourselves. Breathing in and breathing out, connecting our hearts, our breath, our beingness, becoming and belonging as one family of humanity. The Green UnConference for me today is envisioned as a journey, something like the yellow magic bus, if you all remember that. This is a journey that you can hop into and hop off at any time, a journey that will be co-created by your inspiration and creativity. Whatever you bring to this journey, we will all become that together. So this yellow magic bus, as I visualize it, could be your spaceship, could be your submarine, your aeroplane, could be your portal of light. And together we can travel and create whatever we want. The beautiful world that we know is possible, the healing and health that we know is possible, the opulence, the abundance, the friendship that is possible for our species and for all life on planet Earth. So let's fly in this bubble of the magic bus or the magic balloon. For me right now, as I sense it, it is flying high above the cosmic skies to channel the other worlds, the wisdom that has been and the wisdom that is guiding us. So breathing in this moment, this visualization, also integrating a visualization of my dear soul sister Karla, that we are all rivers and all tributaries, all flowing towards the one large ocean and source. So with a warm, grateful heart of friendship and sisterhood, I welcome Karla into the space to share from spontaneous expression and guide us on this adventure.
Beautifully said, as always, dearest Amena. Thank you. I feel actually I have nothing to add. That was so beautiful. I feel lighter, and really my intention and affirmation, I'm sorry for the construction, is for us to have a joyful gathering and to connect with conscious beings who are doing beautiful healing work in many, many parts of the world that need it. And I feel like we're holding hands at this moment. And I feel that warmth in my hands now. And it's really good to see mentors here joining us. I just like to acknowledge the presence of Belle Villavicencio from Theory U and the Rizal Academy for Innovation and Leadership, and also Teresa Ruelas from Cebu Farmers Market and Cafe I, which does much community work. I just happened to see the two of them, but I'm looking now and I'm just seeing, faces that I know were co-travelers. Fran and Lee, Nana, to each one of you, thank you for being here. Marilyn, always present in our Green UnConference gatherings. So I feel like Bridge joining from India. Thank you so much to each beautiful soul who's joined us here today as we open the Green UnConference 2021. We welcome you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your presence, your light. I'd like to call on our sister Lee to share some music.
Blessings, everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday wherever you are. Deep bow and honoring our dearest sisters Amena and Karla for anchoring the intention for the Grane UnConference 2021. Thank you all for being here and being a part of this beautiful gathering and meeting of hearts. Opening our circle with a song for Mother Earth. And as we connect wherever you are, whether you're in the city, if you're in India, in Cebu, in Manila, in Palawan, wherever you find yourself, connecting to the elements that are around us, the sun, the wind, the water, and the earth. The earth is our mother. Yes, she is. Oh, the earth is our mother. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Oh, the earth is our mother. We must take care of her. You are the light, and you are the sea. You are the fire and the water in me. Your magnificent skies of blue. Through the air, oh, I'm breathing you. You are the flowers, and we are of you. The earth is our mother. Oh, the earth is our mother. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Oh, the earth is our mother. We must take care of her. And you are the wind, and you are the sweeter rain. Your womb is my shelter. I'm forever in your embrace. You're alive in the morning dew. All the birds singing songs of you. You are the rivers, and we are of you. Let's sing. The earth is our mother. Yes, she is. Oh, the earth is our mother. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Oh, the earth is our mother. We must take care of her. We must take care of her. Glaciers and the mountains, the deserts and boulders too, the rainforest, the deepest blue. Wherever I look, all I can see is you. Gaia, the name of the earth, Pachamama, as she is known, the Great Mother. To the winds of the south, Mother of the waters, Sachamama, the Great Serpent, come and be with us in this space. Teach us your way. Teach us how to shed our past the way that you shed your skin. Wrap your coils of light around each and every single one of us and all of us on the planet. Thank you for teaching us how to walk closely on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. Aho.
Aho.
To the winds of the west, Mother, Sister, Jaguar, Otorongo, come and be with us and protect our medicine space, protect our sacred space. Teach us the way to move fearlessly on this planet Earth, leaving no footprints. Teach us the way of gentleness, of having no enemies. Show us the way to the beyond. Aho.
Aho.
To the winds of the north, Siwar Kenti, Royal Hummingbird, come and be with us. To the grandmothers, grandfathers, the ancient ones, we have come here to honor you and those who will come after us, our children's children. Hummingbird, teach us the way of courage, to hear the call of spirit, to embark on this epic journey. Teach us only to drink the sweet nectar of life. Aho.
Aho.
To the winds of the east, the place of the rising sun. Great eagle, to the condor, come and be with us and take us under your wing. Show us the greater vision, how we see ourselves and how connected we all are on the planet. Open our eyes to see the bigger picture, see the vision. Take us on a flight in this beautiful journey of the Grane UnConference as we unfold in the next few days. Show us how to fly wing to wing with a great spirit. Aho.
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 Mother Earth, the Great Mother, Pachamama, thank you. Thank you for nourishing us and nurturing us and giving us this beautiful place to play, to experience life. To all our relations, to the stone people, nature spirits, the elemental beings, the four-legged, the two-legged, the ones who fly, the ones who swim, the creepy crawlers, to all our relations. We give thanks and we honor each and every single one of you, one of us. Aho.
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 Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, luminous beings, archangels, come and be with us. Be with us in this space. We thank you. We honor you. You who are the unnameable one. You who are known by 1,000 names. To our ancestors, we honor you. Come and may we all be healed with this ceremony, with this gathering. Great Spirit, thank you for blessing us another day to sing the song of life together. Thank you for this opportunity to be here and to celebrate life. Aho.
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 Om Gaia, Om
Om
Gaia,
Gaia.
Om
Om
Gaia,
Gaia.
Om Pachamama, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Om Pachamama, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Om Pachamama, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Om Pachamama, Om Gaia, Om Gaia, Pachamama. Today in the Mayan 13 Moon Dream spell is called the Red Solar Dragon, and it's a good day to birth our ideas, our gifts into the world as we explore space outside of ourselves and connecting with all. Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you for that gentle, empowering flow.
Thank you.
And thank you for initiating grace and inviting all. Still breathing with your song, still vibrating it into the universe. As you were singing today, Lee, I was reminded and taken back into, I think, the feeling and essence of innocence. And as we move forward, I want to bring that pure space of us as souls, innocent, remembering our innocence. So on that note, I would like to invite another very pure, innocent, radiant soul, our soul sister, Divya Nirula from New Delhi, India. Divya is a beautiful, radiant healer, a dancer, an artist. Today, she joins us from the Midnight Galaxy, a sacred space in Delhi that is a boat to heal one and all. So welcome, Divya. And Divya today is going to start us off by helping us embody the essence of the Green UnConference and the vibration that Lee shared. So over to you, Divya.
Love you, Amena, Karla,
Love you.
Fran, Lee, Lexi, Giselle, everyone who's present here. Namaskara from my heart to yours from New Delhi, India. But we're all, like Lee says, we're traveling on this spaceship called Mother Earth in unison. And it is all glories to Mother Earth. So I will invite all of you as we begin this 2-week transition journey with the Green UnConference to take the flow and the empowerment and the love and the light that Lee has established like a pillar of deep, heartfelt sound right here with our spaces, wherever we're connecting from. And I would invite you to just gently sway wherever you are. To gently sway, just to feel your body and to feel gravity, feel the air, feel the sounds, feel yourself, and allow your head to sway. And then lifting your right arm up, allow that to sway with you. And as you're guided, bring in your left arm to sway with you as well. Stretching into your space, into the sound of your body and your breath. And maybe taking a circle wherever you're sitting, embracing yourself. And in doing so, we're embracing each other, embracing Mother Earth, embracing your skin that is housing your soul, embracing the elements that your body is made up of. And hold that embrace, caressing your shoulders, those beautiful, powerful joints that take the burdens of your life, your responsibilities, your duties, caressing the back of your head, your neck, the back of your shoulders, bringing your hands to the center of your chest. Keep swaying, keep breathing, and find your space of power in your home, in the room, in the country that you are joining in from. And as you inhale and exhale, you make a pledge to yourself that through these 14 days, set an intention that all those burdens and responsibilities and duties are going to transform and transition into a pleasurable path, a pleasurable purpose. What that is, some of us may know, some of us may yet to discover it in the now or beyond. Connect to the sounds in your environment. Connect to the sound of your breath. And for those of you who feel any sensation in any particular part of your body, gently move your hands to that body part, connecting with it, giving the strength to that body part, to that physical body, your emotional body, your energy body. And in doing so, you release the burden and you invite the bounty into your purpose and your path here today. Taking a deep breath, raising your arms up towards Father Sky, looking up and beyond, bringing your hands, clasping them together, interlocking your fingers, knowing that your connection to yourself, to others here in this circle, to all those on Mother Earth, known and unknown, is a deep consciousness, intention, and affirmation of love, of care, and let us collectively affirm, I am worthy, they are worthy, we all are worthy. I am worthy, they are worthy, we all are worthy. Worthy of the love, the light, the empowerment, the purpose, and the pleasure. So keeping this deep in our hearts, let us begin this beautiful transition journey in togetherness, sharing with one another, learning from one another, pledging in togetherness, and rejoicing in this beautiful, beautiful space here today. So welcome back. Some of you might want to gently tap your feet to stay connected to Mother Earth. And so you can do that in your spaces to activate that we're moving into the future. Thank you. Welcome back.
Wow, thank you, Divya. Thank you for energizing us with such uplifting, bountiful consciousness. May we continue to hold this in our heart and souls, heads and hands as we journey forth into our adventure of pleasure. So thank you. So moving on, welcoming all those who've joined us here on this journey. Once again, I would like to invite Francesca from Roots of Wisdom Another soul sister from the Philippines, Francesca, for me, is usually a channel of consciousness. So today she brings to us a few words from a poetry she would like to share to affirm this space and to move us forward and to ground us in the now. So welcome, Francesca.
Blessings. Thank you, Amena. Thank you, dear Karla, Divya, and everyone who's here present. Such a honor, heart honor to all be in this collective space, sharing this space with all of you. I want to share a poem to get started, to invoke the transition journeys that we'll all be embarking on in the next 2 weeks, from October 31 to November 12th. And the name of the poem is called "To Awake." And it is by Molly Remmer. And this spoke to me as we were convening yesterday. If you see the woman embracing all timelines, all energies, rooting into the earth and up into the stars, the elements, the name of this poem is called "Be Too Awake." Be too awake. Trust the trembling forest. Place your hands on hot earth, on cold stones, in living streams. Look for bridges into mystery and thresholds into knowing, formed of leaning trees and embracing roots. Be too awake and let wings of wonder carry you into clouds of magic, winding wisps of pleasure through your blood and bones. Be too awake and drink all kinds of moonlight, curling yourselves into caves and grooves, alive with meaning. Be too awake, for the world is full of birds and you can feel the singing in your souls and skin. Be too awake, for there are lakes of longing within you and you know how to swim. Let the greening earth glow beneath you. Let your buried power rise and breathe. For it is in being too awake that you will know yourself as whole and here. Be too awake, even if it is the only thing you have left to be. By Molly Remmer. Thank you for letting me share that poem, Amena.
Thank you, Francesca. That's such a beautiful, beautiful visual to carry forth, with all the rays and flames of light flourishing Mother Earth and us. Keeping this in our hearts as we journey on, affirming that we are always awake to all transitions and to all that needs our presence and our actions. So as we move on, we would like to now just open the energies in the circle for all that have come here today and made time for this transition today. I would like to welcome Helena and John from Local Futures, one of our elders that have done great work in transition, not only in the world, but also in India and Ladakh. So we're going to take this time for the next maybe 20, 30 minutes to go around in a circle, spiral through each other, share what we bring today to this circle and what is really awake and brewing in us when we think of the word transition. Maybe share a small anecdote, a story, an inspiration, whatever is awake in you right now. So warm, heartful welcome. Helena, are you here with us? We'll start the circle with you. Thank you for joining us at such short notice. We welcome your friendship, your warm heart, and your healer self.
I am here, but I won't be able to stay with you very long, but I do love to see all these women. There are a few men there, are there? What do you think out of, what are we, 20?
Yes, there are.
Yeah, because it's just me. John is not here.
Okay.
And I really do see around the world that women are leading the way back home to Mother Gaia. It's women's work. Very often the visible spokespeople are men, but the majority of action or actors are women, and it is important, I think, that we recognize that and that we try to make it clear, that this is part of a cultural turning that's being recognized around the world, that women do have that deeper connection to nature, that deeper embodied and spiritual connection. So that's what I'm seeing in this transition. And as many of you may know, I'm calling part of the sort of broader structural imagery that I want people to share is that it is about local face-to-face relationships with that specific river, that specific tree, the specific soils, and the specific people around you. That reconnection of the experience of connecting to life requires local relationships. And yet what we're doing here globally is also very important to support that real life reconnection. And so we need the international communication to strengthen all these local initiatives. And I hope some of you know about our World Localization Day, where we're trying to make visible how much is happening in the world in this direction of going back home to Mother Gaia, going back home to place, home to being able to live in the here and now, not rushing and fearfully looking into a future that is more and more fast-paced, more and more competitive, more and more destructive. That's the path that's still being pushed on us by the global economic system, by a global monoculture. But it's the revitalization of the diverse living communities relating to living ecosystems that's so important. So I think it's wonderful that you're part of that, and the characteristics of an UnConference, I think, have to do with recognizing that the way that we've been doing things, among other things, has been, left brain, over-intellectualized, disembodied, and that's now translating into enormous propaganda for robots, for transhumanism, that we're going to be transcending our limits, not only of place and community and so-called tribalism, but we're going to be moving into this new world of AI-run cities, and the robots will do the horrible agricultural work for us. They'll do all kinds of things. So I hope all of you will be quite literate in understanding why that path is exactly the opposite of what we want. So I think it's really important we have this clarity about the two paths. The one is bottom up, from the earth, by the earth, with earth people. The other one is top down, and it's coming out of a rapacious, extractive, capitalist system that is patriarchal, always has been, is colonial, it's anti-women, anti-nature, and it's alive still, but it's only alive because so many people are not saying a clear no, are not aware of how it's the antithesis of what we represent. So we shouldn't be afraid to say no. We should definitely stay away from anger, violence, hatred. We don't need that. We just need clarity. We just need to be clear about saying a very, very loud and clear no, and and trying to increase our voice. I think this is why it's important to have this UnConference. So that's sort of the main message I would like to give.
Thank you, Helena. I think it's really valuable because this is really a circle of healing everything that exists to bring it into the circle of light, so we can all co-join as we move forward in this space of taking care of ourselves and our earth. So thank you for being here and journeying with us and belonging with us and sharing your wisdom and your call for healing. Thank you. We love you, Helena, and your work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amena. And I love what I'm seeing of what you're doing. And I hope we can collaborate more. And yeah, especially I hope people will join World Localization Day, which is trying to express that all around the world, there are just amazing, hopeful, healing, nurturing, deep projects going on that are not visible enough. So many people are going along with this dominant propaganda, which is that human beings are actually rather greedy, nasty, aggressive, and now the robots are going to be wiser, more compassionate. That is literally being expressed. And there are insidious ways that this is coming in terms of these supposed green AI-run mega cities. And there are insidious ways that is coming in by arguing that people don't like to do bureaucratic work. Now the robots can do it. Actually, it's because of the robots, the preceding computer robots, that we're all doing far too much bureaucratic work. So it's a centralizing path that we need to be opposing. And yeah, so in World Localization Day, we're helping to make visible all these efforts. And I hope all of you will help to add your voices, to let people know what you're doing. We're trying to get it out widely. We were able to get Russell Brand and Jane Goodall and Gabor Mate and some quite well-known people to lend their voice to this movement. And I think it's very important we do that, because as you know, it's so difficult to get any voice of sanity, compassion, love, spirit into the media, so people don't know that there are all these examples of how people are actually demonstrating that they aren't all greedy and aggressive. And in fact, the majority aren't. So there's a very good reason not to give up hope and to reconnect with that fabric of the smaller, the slower, the more local, but we have to find it. And it often means we have to actively look for it, because it is in your area. Once you start looking, you'll see, wow, this is the opposite of what I'm being told. So, yeah.
Anna, thank you for your sharing. That you really capture the spirit of this gathering. It's to remind ourselves that we are out here and we are already doing, doing healing work, doing good work in the places we live. Just wishing to acknowledge the presence of Luisa joining us with her baby from California, I believe. And I know it might be bedtime soon, so I just want to say, Luisa, thank you for joining and bringing your baby here. It's so symbolic because the future is hers. What's the name of your baby? You're on mute.
Hi, thank you. I hope you guys don't mind. Her name is Sati Lekha. Yeah.
Luisa, any words you want to share for Sati and what you wish for her future?
Right now I'm really of course prioritizing healing, because now that I'm a mom, that's like my focus now. And also, so it coincides with what you guys are trying to do. And that's why when I was reading what this was about, I was like, yeah, even if, it's actually 9:45 p.m. here in California. It's almost her nap time, but I think this is a nice kind of, even just your voices and the vibration. I think it's nice that she is exposed to women, because we haven't been out. So this is really nice. Like, and I think she's enjoying. So yeah, I'm glad that this is happening. I'm so happy. And then I'm seeing friends here also that I always admired, and always trying to make the Philippines and the world a better place. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Louisa. Teresa, would you like to share anything?
Is that me?
Yes, Teresa.
Hi, hello everybody. Carla, this is already feeling like you're saving the day for me by inviting me. This was a last minute invitation, at least to me. Carla has been helping me hold me through my anxieties around mandatory vaccine, especially for children. And I so love what you said, Helena, about localization. I run the Cebu Farmers Market, where we sell only organically grown food, only local and naturally processed products. And our farmers are amazing. Just yesterday, I was part of a research project where we did a focus group, and I was asked to invite the farmers in our farmers market, and the stories they told, very intimate to the soil and the air and the water and their produce, and just so much love and intimacy. And I noticed that most of the people in that focus group, farmers, all farmers, had returned. That many of them had graduated, gone to college, taken on professional work, and have returned, are returning. They grew up from farmers, families, and the teaching, the socialization is to go out and become a professional. And they tried that, and it wasn't working for them. And now they're growing families and communities back in the farms. And it's I think, especially in an agricultural country like the Philippines, where we have completely lost our essence. I'm exaggerating because, of course, the people here from the Philippines, have not let that happen. But there is a trend towards, there has been a trend towards materialism and progress being about cities. And so thank you. I just entering the first few minutes of this UnConference eases my soul and grounds me and fills my heart with gratitude. So thank you, I've spoken.
Can I just add also that in our work, we're seeing that COVID has actually given impetus to this return to the land and villages around the world, in Australia, in America, India, Philippines. And it's very, very important, again, as I said, that we have clarity about the need to support that. It's not about emptying every city, but it's about a balance between city and country. And these mega cities mean that every person consumes more resources per capita. And on a crowded planet, to have our politicians pushing to continue that is just madness. And we need to be very strong and clear voices in the opposite direction.
Thank you, Helena. Yes, on November 11, if you have time, please join us. We're going to be speaking a little bit more about this, built environments and cities. And it'll be an open conversation amongst eco-friends and city dwellers. So it will be our delight to have you join us. So the circle's open. Anyone feeling to respond to whatever's been said, anything that's emerging and spontaneous? Please introduce yourself, your work, your transitions, your affirmations, whatever you want to imprint on this journey. Feel free to unmute and join us. Or maybe Helena is just as good luck and pick someone in the circle. That way we might move faster. Yeah.
I wanted to say, I hope, Teresa, especially that we can be in touch. I'd like to be in touch with all of you, but I hope we can find a way of connecting with each other. I see Lexi Payumo. Where are you from?
Hi, lucky me. I've been a fangirl of yours, Helena.
Oh,
Yeah, ever since I learned. So it's so cool to have you here.
thank you.
Yeah,
Where are you? Where are you?
I'm currently in the city of Makati.
Uh-huh.
I work with Kai Farms with Karla and Amena. And I first met them in their first Green UnConference in 2015. And yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, these are my people. I need to hang out more with them. And so I, just messaged and did some searching and learning on my own. And when I felt ready, to just reach out and apply and see how I could help. So since I'm in the city, I'm like the farm to market road of the Kai Farms vegetables to the people in the city, helping organize logistics, deliveries, and helping with our presentations and digital stuff, such as this. And just having the city presence, but my heart and energy is already out in the province. And so it's nice to have this gathering of people from all over and just unite in this common goal. Thank you for calling me. I'll pass the talking stick to someone I don't know, Amanda Bumagat.
Hello, I just arrived, so I'm unaware of what we're doing right now.
Oh, sorry. Welcome to the Green UnConference. We're just sharing a bit about ourselves, transitions, if you're going through some inner outer transitions.
So I just graduated from high school, and I'm currently on a gap year. I decided to not go to school this year, try to figure out what my priorities are, explore the real world, make some connections. And honestly, I was just curious what this event was about. I came across it on Instagram, and I've always wanted to learn how I can contribute to the environment, like here in the Philippines. So I'm just coming in with an open mind, and I'm honestly, I don't know what to expect. I have zero expectations, but I want to learn from people who are dedicated to this cause. So yeah, that's me. Should I pass it on to someone else, or?
Thanks so much, Amanda. Yeah, sure, please pass it.
Is there anyone who hasn't spoken yet?
There are lots, yes. Just pick and trust.
Okay. Has Irene spoken? I think I'm drawn to Irene's hair color. It's very bold. Yeah.
Welcome, Irene.
Hello to all the familiar faces there and to those currently unknown. I joined because several of my soul sisters have asked me to drop in, and I don't have much to contribute, I believe, except my presence. I'm trying to be here with pure mindfulness and pure presence rather than any judgments I'm quite likely to project since my views might contradict those of several of you, but I will keep my judgment contained and my ears and my heart open. And I do have to join another meditation group soon, but I'll jump in and out as my schedule allows. So sending you blessings, everyone, and may this circle be as open and as mindful as the intentions that brought us together. Oh, I should pick somebody. Let's see. I will try to find someone I don't know. How about Novita from the Philippines? Hi.
Hello, good afternoon.
Novita, we can't hear you. There, we can see you now. Welcome, Novita.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Sorry, I cannot hear you clearly. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes. Intermittently. Maybe you could introduce yourself in the chat, Novita.
Okay, I will.
Yes, thank you.
Introduce. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to just move our circle into a little bit of maybe harmony and balance with, like Helena said, with men voices in our group. There are quite a few. So can I please welcome whoever is ready to receive the talking stick, calling upon the sacred masculine to join. I could call out some names. There is Luvian, there's DJ, there's Bridge, and who else? Is David here today with us? There's Leon. And
I'd love to hear from Bridge because he was commenting on technology always being neutral and saying that AI used for good could be a good thing. And I'd love to hear you say something more about that. I personally believe that these more recent mega technological systems are not suited to the deep respect for diversity, experiential knowledge, and more embodied, holistic ways of being. So I don't think they can be subjugated in that way, but I definitely think that technology can be developed, and there are technologies that can really help and suit that deeper spiritual connection. I really worry a lot about the role of AI.
Bridge, are you there?
Yeah. Hi. Sorry, let me see if my camera works. Let's see. I'm not sure if my camera is working.
I can see you.
Okay.
I can see you, Bridge.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I was basically suggesting, oops, my hair are a mess. So you don't mind? Turn off my camera. Okay. So basically, what I was suggesting was like all technology, whether it's been nuclear, whether it's been the Air Force, everything has had a positive and negative angle to it. And it depends on the users, how they want to use it. And AI is also in that space. And the sooner we get into, so I think it's important to discuss the philosophy on how AI thinks and how AI works. And the sooner we actually, so I would really encourage, because I do work with a technology company, and I would really encourage everyone to discuss this as much as possible, because the more we discuss it, then the more ethical and more good we can make this technology. So like everything else, whether it was gunpowder or fire or the industrial age, AI also, it's just more complex, and it also takes a lot of decisions based on philosophy. But the more collective wisdom is poured into AI, then its chances of doing the right thing or reflecting the broader collective good, representing that of humanity, it can be tuned into in the right hands, it can do the right things, is what it seems like to me. But at the same time, I mean, some of the biggest people, famous people in the world, like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, are also having a very aggressive debate about the same. And and the other thing is, of course, we can't just leave everything to AI and let go. We have to also sort of keep up and still be able to do a lot of things on our own. So it's a very deep philosophical debate on where this could go. That's really what I have to say.
But is it all right if I comment on that? I don't want to dominate too much.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Should I? Yeah, I think you're absolutely right that we need really a lot of discussion and a lot of, deep thinking around this. And I think in a theoretical way, we might imagine some form of AI that would be essentially beneficial. But I think we need to look at where these technologies have come from and who created them. Now, first of all, it's very clear that it comes out of a patriarchal system where women have had very little voice. And most of them come out of the military. And I would argue that all technology is not neutral, that the difference between, for instance, plant breeding that was done for thousands of years as humans in specific ecosystems worked with plants to try to get the best out of them. What was being done was fundamentally different from what Monsanto and the corporate world did in the name of doing the same thing. Their knowledge was based on using billion-dollar investments to bombard life, to split the atoms and genes, to study life in a dead form, and then come up with new synthetic recipes that included the Terminator gene. It was ideal for profit-making, patenting, corporate needs. That technology never came out of a human scale, deep interaction with Gaia. It couldn't. It's not possible. So in a way, those technologies come out of a war machine, a war against life and a war against people. There is a reason why in every country we have such a big gap between rich and poor, and it's connected to these technologies.
So, I mean, so that point I agree with. Sorry for interrupting.
That's all right.
But I think what I am sensing is it is de-corporatization of the world, which is a far more important thing. With sort of most of the wealth in the world being controlled by just a few individuals, that is a bigger issue. And once that happens, then the technologies will also automatically be rechanneled to doing greater good and helping people. That's my perspective.
Well, But see, I think we have to look at the thing. I think what's so problematic is that people are not looking at where these technologies came from. When we think they're neutral, it's assuming they've somehow arisen on their own. No, without those big corporations, we wouldn't have those technologies. So I completely agree with you that decorporatization is fundamental, because the corporations and banks are now running government policy. Governments are signing in black and white, we will do as you say. It's a very, very disturbing picture, but it's also very positive when we understand that this is only happening with a tiny minority of the global population, that 99.999% of the global population is on a different track and actually wants a better harmony with their fellow humans and with nature. It's a blind, spinning, algorithmic development, and very much linked to the technologies developed by those corporations, for their control of our minds. Those technologies have allowed control in science, in the media, in school books. Every avenue of knowledge has been colonized because they've been given these tools that they created. So now I guess the big question, I hope we're going to have people realizing, no, we don't want to go to 5G. We don't want to be dominated more by AI. It's already there. But the question is, do we keep going blindly in a direction? It's like saying in an eco community, the corporate equivalent in an eco community can have a machine gun and nobody else can have any guns. It's like that, you know. So yeah, anyway, it's a longer discussion. But
so I would love to apply actually permaculture design to AI. If you can sort of get these two together and get AI to think like a permaculturist, that's when we might have a solution to all this.
Bridge, thank you for that. That's very you. Bridge works for a technology company and he lives in a eco village surrounded by permaculture gardens in Bangalore. Bridge and Helena, thank you for these very powerful, this powerful exchange. I think what you're saying is really true, and it's good for us to bring that into our circle today. But in the interest of time, I'd also like to make space for others to share.
Hello.
But thank you, Bridge, and thank you, Helena.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I think we shouldn't dominate anymore. But I hope there will be more discussions like this in the forum. There's a tendency for women and spiritually, ecologically minded women to not deal with these issues. And part of my point is, I think it's really, really important that we do, coming from our deeper embodied connection, spiritual connection to nature and to life. Thank you.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Helena, for bringing that into the circle. I think Belle wanted to share a few words, and also Nana. Yes, Nana.
Should I? Can I go?
Yes, please, please, Nana.
Right.
And
Thank
then Belle.
you. Yeah, that's a very interesting conversation, actually. I agree with both of them. As a woman who was in the technological space, I was an engineer. So while I'm not an AI expert, I agree with both Bridge and Helena in like it's nice to hear both sides of the story. And I do believe that there's a way for technology and nature to come together. But from my experience, I've seen that's why I'm here and I want to transition into this lifestyle. I've experienced the disconnection of being in that space. But I don't blame technology itself for that. I don't blame what we have created, what this modern world has created. I instead, like, it's a shift in perspective of how I want to use it. So maybe a concrete example, it's not AI, but it's blockchain and smart contracts that's currently being used today is for solar power to be shared between neighbors. So your energy could literally be coming from your neighbor, which is, in a way, for me, I saw that as a very social. There's a very social aspect in there. Like every time my neighbor has a surplus and chooses to save energy, it can automatically be transferred. The transaction happens automatically, and I can take that. So there's that element of sharing and being connected to your neighbors. So yeah, I think that's just one example, but yeah, I mean, I just wanna put in. So I'm Nana, by the way. I'm new to this community.
Thank you for sharing that, Nana. Super interesting where you're coming from. May I invite Belle, Vicencio?
Thank you. Thank you, Karla, for creating this space. It's a beautiful space, and even just by the song earlier, oh my gosh, it really put us all together as one. And I think that's what we need most in this world. And that really is also my personal declaration, which is raising consciousness to co-create oneness with all. But the hard part about that is how. How, no? And I agree with Bridge and Helena. No? I resonate with those perspectives actually, because even in the Rizal Academy, even as we've been promoting Theory U, which is about awareness-based systems change. We also have a part of us that has partnered with OpenXO, which is really about creating exponential organizations using technologies. And I really truly believe these technologies can be used for good, but it really starts with us. What does our heart intelligence tell us? What does our heart say? And if we connect to that intelligence, then I think the answers will come. I truly believe we have the answers within us. We do have those answers within us. It's already there. It's just about connecting to that intelligence, connecting to that source of abundance, of well-being for everyone on Earth, everyone, including Mother Earth and everything in it. And so the question again is how? So one way I've discovered, or what works for me, is really just listening and really truly trying to understand others' perspectives, so that they may feel I am not separate from them, but rather that I'm truly wanting to be in their shoes, wanting to be one with them, to understand them and where they're coming from. So for me, listening is a great tool, and put that together with that open mind, not thinking that I'm right and you're wrong, but rather having that open mind to really even question my own assumptions about everything, and that's a hard process. It's a challenge, but for me, it's what's working. It's what's working if I want to really live my personal statement of raising consciousness to co-create oneness with all. And so singing the music earlier, the poem earlier, if we breathe together, that for me, those are moments of oneness with each other. And so those practices can and have been creating that oneness. And so how do we share that with the rest of the world? And that is the challenge. That is the challenge for all of us. So yeah, I'm just grateful, so grateful for this. The energy here is so light, so beautiful. So it's so heartwarming. It really brings tears of joy to my eyes, and it's just truly grateful. Namaste.
Thank you so much for sharing your work and your inspiration, Belle. Would anybody else like to share? If not, maybe we can wrap up this portion. Amena, can you remind me what's next in our flow?
Yes, Karla. So we're going to go into healing and affirming with Divya from Delhi. Whatever's come into our circle today, whatever energies, expressions, interests, intelligences, Divya is going to lead us into meditations and affirmations to move forward in this oneness consciousness that Belle has just spoken about. And then after that, maybe we can resume our circle and share a little bit more. So welcome, Divya.
Thank you.
Thank you, Divya.
Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to express a connection to COP26 climate conference happening now today in Glasgow, and wanting to connect our gathering and send, sort of healing energies to the gathering in Glasgow, and include that in our affirmations and our healing meditation with you. I don't know if now is a good time to share a video prepared by Kids for Kids, Tasha and Bella, the founding sisters of Kids for Kids, prepared a video. I don't know if our tech team is ready to share, but Tasha is making her way to COP26 climate conference. And during the Green UnConference, we hope to connect with friends who are there, like Sarah Keblatin, Elak Diaz, and of course, Tasha, and some others to share what's going on there and to connect it with the Green UnConference in these next 2 weeks.
Okay, well, yeah, so if DJ...
Not ready. Okay, not ready. So maybe later. So you could go ahead.
Okay, so actually, I'm very, very inspired by the discussions that have been happening vocally, as well as I could see a lot of screens and people thinking. And then, of course, the chat is, flooded with people having opinions and also curiosity about where to go next. And so I just wanted to sort of take a few minutes for all of us to sort of anchor back into what have been our personal transition and transformation journeys, especially if we look at our lives pre-COVID and then during the pandemics and the lockdowns, in various countries that we reside in, and now sort of heralding into this new world order, which is post-COVID, or I kind of say pan-COVID, because it's going to be here with us, part of sort of the new ecosystem. And so I wanted to sort of highlight a few of the aspects that came up with Helena and Bridge's discussions, and of course with Irene and Lee and Teresa sharing in the chat. I'm really inspired by all that I've heard thus far. And I wanted to sort of highlight what I have been thinking and meditating on, that what does a transition journey really look like? And I sort of came up with, for myself, and if others joining here have a different sort of vision, please do feel free to raise your hand, unmute, share, because this is like an open sort of active meditation. We're not here, a lot of people think meditation is about renunciating from your senses, from your duties, from your relationships. Whereas my purpose here today is sort of to actively lead us through self-awareness and reflection. And that has to be a very active participation rather than a renunciating journey. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to say in the outset. So coming back to what I was thinking about, that what does a transition journey really look like? And I thought there were like sort of two options that in the context of COVID as well, that could be the 3 steps to any transition. And the first is whether it's a physical transition, whether it's an environmental transition, it could be health, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be our bodies, it could be even our thoughts and emotions. At times, there is a transition that we begin with a choice. And with that free will choice, we sort of incorporate a sort of, like when you go trekking, you like put all the things in your backpack and you train and you like make your muscles ready and your mind ready and make sure that you have all the tools for this free will choice. So I call that preparedness, right? So we make a free will choice, then we prepare, and then we are like, okay, I'm prepared. And then there is the pleasure and the purpose of the journey because you're prepared, because it was your choice. Now, what could be the opposite of that, right? So we don't need to look far. We just see what's happening, all around us, and coming back to the technology issue or the COVID issue, our health, our food grain, our supply systems. A lot of the times, that's not in our control, right? So it's forced upon you. So Helena said education, and she mentioned so many streams of knowledge and power and colonization. So even the way we think of ourselves, it could like just be a simple thing that, if we are from colonized nations, what is considered beautiful, like, is it dark skin versus light skin, curly hair versus straight hair, so there are all these sort of seeds of dissatisfaction forced onto us in patterns of thought and actualization that we sort of become very immune to from a consciousness perspective. We're just sort of flowing with what has been handed down to us, and we are helpless. So the opposite of the choice is force. The opposite of the preparedness is helplessness. And then instead of the pleasure of the purpose and the path, we sort of have pain and suffering and punishment, right? So those are the kind of two sort of streams that I think all of us as human beings experience in all different areas of our life. So then your question might be like, okay, Divya, that's fantastic. So it's being forced upon us. We're helpless. And now we're really in this hurt and pain and anguish. And now what do we do? So healing is not an arbitrary, metaphysical, esoteric concept alone. Okay, so our personal journeys with our own spirituality, it could be our religion, it could be with our families, our friends, it could be with our advocacy groups. Yes, those are defined. And at times we ourselves don't know where we're getting this motivation, right? Sometimes you'll ask people, I'm sure there's so many of you here that if someone asks you that, why is this your purpose and what is your why? And a lot of us will have the ingredient of, this was my calling, this is what resonated with me, it's what I'm passionate about, I couldn't look away from this need in the world, in my local community, and so I decided that I will dedicate my life in service to fulfilling that purpose. So what are the steps really? And what is affirmation is something that has to be very real world. Yes, the words that we use, the language that we use, the conversations we have with ourselves, with others are very, very important. They're very, very powerful. But what are the steps that we can sort of use to heal and bridge this forced action upon us or situation that is leading to helplessness and then leading to pain and trauma? So if any of you have some ideas or some experiences, I want to open it up to sort of, gather what are your thoughts on how you have been able to transform a helpless situation into an empowered state of being. Does anyone have any sharing on that or thoughts?
Divya, there seem to be a lot of comments in the chat.
Mm-hmm. So Lee, I would love to invite Lee since she has shared, and Irene. So if we can spotlight Irene and Lee and Kin. Yeah, so let's have a discussion. Love to hear from all of you.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Karla. It's really an interesting space for minds to meet. And just to keep it short, the things that I've been sharing is the inspiration of when we were thinking of clarity, as Helena points and directs our focus, to have clarity in what we are doing. It's really a shift in consciousness. If we don't shift our consciousness now, things around us will will present something that we will be forced to shift our consciousness. And this is what we are seeing right now with the pandemic, with COVID, and with climate change and everything else happening around us. And so the invitation of the times is to shift our mind, shift our consciousness. You know, we are locked up in a time where time is all about money, greed, control, power, and this is the patriarchal time. And I'm seeing how we are moving into the Aquarian age with spirituality and science together. If we can bridge our mind into the new time, and when we understand the nature of the mind, and I feel that this is why a lot of people on the planet are being called to learn about meditation, really, we are being presented with death. Death is our wake-up call, because now we are seeing how our mortality is really there, that we can die tomorrow with COVID, with anything, our loved ones. And so what are we being invited to do right now? We are being invited to see reality for what it is and no longer live in an illusion that we have time, because the truth is, well, all we have is now. And so with gatherings like the Grane UnConference and what's going on with the climate change gathering, it's really an opportunity for our minds to harmonize into a time that is harmonic, time as art, living our life as art. And that is shifting our mind and harmonizing it with nature, because as the ancients and the native peoples and indigenous peoples have said, nature is where spirit dwells. And so the more that we spend time with nature, put our hands into the soil, we no longer have to really just be driven by the mind, but we come back into the body, because that's really what we are here for. We are here to be in the body experience, and we do that when we put our feet onto the earth, our hands onto the soil, and connect with one another. More than anything, our minds are amazing because it allows us to dream a new future into being, but the most important thing is the mind and heart coherence. So we can advance into a future where both can operate simultaneously, just like science and spirituality, where both are presenting something really powerful for us to move into the future and look at ourselves not just human beings, but galactic planetary beings connected with everything else. It's time to, like you say before in the Grane UnConference, act local but think global, but actually think planetary, think universes, because that's how big we are. It's remembering and recognizing that we are cosmic vibratory beings. So thank you for the space to allow me to share that. So much
Thank
love.
you, Lee. Yes, so also bringing it back to the now, like you said, just to be. Yes, we are galactic, we're eternal, but if some of you joining in might find that as a hard concept to grasp, look at your universality in the fact that the closest sort of living not creature, but the closest thing to our DNA as humans that we share is with a cucumber. Okay, so the earth is you and you are the earth. Okay, so that's just bringing it back to the here and now. And so yes, Irene, you had so much to share. We'd love to hear more about your experience, your thoughts, your perspective.
Well, I'm completely unprepared to talk. I was merely coming from what I acknowledge is a reactive position to what's been discussed previously. There are some certain concepts that are triggering. There are certain positions that I find do not acknowledge the paradigm shift that we've gone through in terms of technology, that it is no longer one of colonialization, but it is certainly one, if I'm looking at this generation of younger women I work with in the development field, the ones who are developing technologies for agricultural technologies so that they are no longer tied to the land purely in terms of their sweat, that they have time for education.
Yes.
That the technology has freed them to acquire more knowledge, to embrace this new knowledge and share it with, well, on the planetary level. And so I was merely pointing out to bring it to. I am not an expert in this subject matter, but of two Filipino women who are very active in this field, Jean DeSenas, who's both an AI developer, AI trainer, but also spiritual practitioner, as well as Lights Villura, who works with ILO and has been very hands-on, practical in promoting young girls to develop their own technologies for the good of women and their communities. Because if you do not empower young women, it stops there. If you educate a man, as they say, you're educating one man. If you're educating a woman, you're educating an entire family and an entire community. And so that's a position I came from, completely unprepared to talk on this, but I rather let experts like Jean and Lights speak. So I've invited them. Well, I mean, it's a bit difficult with the holidays, so hopefully they can pop in at one point.
Thank you so much, Irene. Yeah, I think it's very important to have pushback for like a robust sort of understanding of where we are. And a lot of times we come with our own perspectives and our limited sort of understanding of the worldview. And coming from India and working with like local communities in our villages in different states, I completely agree with you that technology has shown like to be a tool or a path to liberation for a lot of women, for young children, because in the fields, like at least in India, I'm not sure what the situation in the Philippines is like, that they will continue to have more children so that they have more farm hands, and you give them one tractor and you give them a combine harvester, and those children can go to school, they can get educated, they can be the engineers, the doctors, and the thinkers of tomorrow. So definitely I agree with you. And just to sort of also like take Irene's point about technology not always being like this evil sort of colonizer, like we ultimately, like the technology is our body, and that is the biggest like technical tool that we have in our lives, of course attached with our brain, our mind, our heart, our senses. And so how do you want to make your body, your senses, your life ethical? Because I think that was sort of like what the conversation was, right? So instead of looking so beyond and so vast and like waxing lyrical about this is bad, that is bad, look at what you are doing with your body. What are you ingesting? Are you looking to your local communities? Are you supporting them? What is the service that you are doing on a daily basis for your body, as well as what is the service that your body can do for others in your family, your community, and beyond. So I think that is what I would say as a personal note, that the biggest technology is all of this, guys. So, use it well and use these 14 days to think about that. And so happy to have met you, Irene, and look forward to having you popping in and out and bringing your very, I think, balanced but powerful voice based on what you know and what you've seen. So I think the preparedness is our life experiences. It's not that's the preparedness, and I think you bring that in abundance. So thank you. And yes, Kin, did you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me in. I was just curious to learn more about what Irene, Lee, Nana, Belle, Helena, and Brick was sharing. So I'm really open for understanding new aspect that I have not known before. But I also have this thought that come up that I would like to share. This conversation reminded me of this fictional character in this novel called Over Story. It's about a movement to protect the environment. And one of the character in this story was a tech person, a game coder, who sourced his inspiration from nature and then ended up building this online game that it's really consuming the players and making billions and become like a I don't know what it's the word for it, but he's become very rich and become the symbol of technology and game and IT. Why still at times come back to nature and sourcing his inspiration there? So it makes me think of like sometimes our heart might be in the right place, but we are not approaching things with a very holistic approach. So we might say that we love nature, but we are not aware of how our actions are impacting nature in returns. So me personally, I have had a very profound experience when I used to like work in projects in NGOs, and it was a lot of work. I had a lot of work, so I felt like I got lost in my work. I felt that my work was so important, so I poured days and nights into it. But I felt the sense that it doesn't seem like it was bringing much of a difference for me. And then I had this break when I go to Gaia Ashram. It was a permaculture farm. I did an eco-village design education there. But what was most profound was that I had time to reflect on what I did, on what it meant to me. And then I was introduced to whole system design. And then I had time to really dissect what I saw and what my belief was, my worldview was, and how that affects my choice of my career, but also what I choose to contribute my time and energy on. And I think that's really important for me personally, especially now when everything is online and there's so much information that I observe every day, so many nice and beautiful and interesting webinars, workshops. But then at times I feel like I'm like a sponge, right? I observe everything and I am keen to observe more, but then I don't leave time for reflection. And coming back to my awareness, to what Lee Grane and Amena and you also said about consciousness. So I think giving space for that in our lives is very important, instead of being really fast and get pulled away by the waves of information and what's happening out there. So that might be a good reminder, either you're working in IT, AI, or any other field. I think it's always nice to bring back the sense of mindfulness, of holistic design in whatever you're doing. I'm not an expert on that either, but that's just what it's coming up on for me.
Yeah. Sorry,
I
what's
would like
time
to,
right
I
now?
would like to jump in there if I could, and to say that in a way I am an expert on holistic thinking. I taught at the University of Berkeley in one of the few holistic departments. And it's scary to me that most people today have not heard of Rachel Carson. I hope that most of you have heard of Rachel Carson. She was a woman scientist who in the 60s became aware that science had become too narrow, too reductionist. And what you were just talking about now, Kin, was that we need to be more holistic. So her message to the world was very clear. Wait a minute, science has gone in the wrong direction, because we think we can create a bit of DDT and use it over here, and it'll kill the insects we want to kill, but actually we're killing birds over there. So we need to slow down. We need to really encourage holistic, interdisciplinary thinking. What's so frightening is that what's happened in the intervening years, and I've been at this for these 45 years, is that the language from within the mainstream universities, government bodies, and very much funded by corporate foundations and funding in science. What's happened is we talk about systems, holistic, and we look at something like what Irene, what you're talking about, a particular situation where women could be helped by a technology so that they don't have to do the hard labor on the land. But we're not looking globally enough, and we're not looking over time enough. If we did, we would see that these technologies are part of speeding up extractive capitalism, speeding things up so that all of us are running faster than ever, we would see that in the industrialized world, where people have lived in the extreme form of modernity, high-rise flat in the high-rise urban centers, people develop an appetite for the land, for farming, for slowing down, and for using their bodies. Now in the health areas, they're saying sitting is the new smoking. They're discovering that because through technology and modernity, we sit most of the time, we are developing not only back trouble, but a lot of neurological depression, which is alleviated by using our bodies. So I would love to, I don't want to push my own stuff, but I do want to say that my book, Ancient Futures, I had the experience of living in a culture where no modern technology had arrived, no industrial anything. And they had not been affected by Christianity. They had not been colonized. They were free to develop and evolve in their own ways. I have never met people who were happier, healthier, and by happier, I mean more active, vibrant, joyous, humorous people. Those of you who've met the Dalai Lama, well, for me, most of the people in Ladakh and Bhutan exhibited the same qualities. Now, it's very, very difficult to persuade people today of this, but what I would say is, if you are willing to go on a journey with me to see the new indigenous, the new local, which is stronger in the industrialized world than it is in the less industrialized, urbanized parts of the world. But when you see this new conscious longing for using our bodies, actually enjoying working on a small permaculture farm, using your hands, working with others, not standing as a migrant worker or a slave on some huge monoculture. That's what colonialism and slavery created. Once you have that, the machines bring them on because that life is miserable. But when people are connected on small, diversified, permaculture-inspired farms, delivering to a local market is like night and day. And people are actually loving that. Now, we need to be looking at that to think about what technologies, what do we need to do here? And it's about local markets that stimulate diversification, community-based, at least very job rich. So lots of people, you're not alone all day doing some weeding. In the diversified small farm, every single day the work is different. In the monocultures that support corporate wealth accumulation, you're like a slave, you're like a machine. So it's a big picture and I don't want to dominate too much, but I am coming from 50 years of looking at this around the world, from my native country of Sweden, starting in Ladakh and Bhutan. And my interest in speaking to you, the main thing I'm saying is, please look at the bigger picture. Please seek out information that you will not get in mainstream textbooks. You will not get it in mainstream universities. If you listen more to your body and your heart, and if you visit some of the projects I'm talking about, I think you would be more interested. And let me just also say, one of the most frightening things about what's happening is that this techno-economic system is robbing us of time. So we're all running faster and faster, and we're all trying to do things alone. So the mother in the nuclear family, she's been put in an impossible situation. The way we evolved, every mother had about 10 caretakers for every baby. And she was free to contribute in the economy. She was free and she had a voice. But it was to do with more decentralized, more localized ways of doing things, that we were not all the time essentially divided because everything goes via large corporations that separate us. And the speed is linked to reductionist, quick, speedy communication, narrow focus. So the big message from Rachel Carson and people like me, and people, some of the elders like Gandhi and so on, our message is human scale, decentralized structures linked to holistic, experiential, embodied knowledge, where our soul, our body, our spirit are part of the learning. What someone said, Irene, or someone was talking about, no, it's maybe you, Divya, about wanting to get a job in the city, going to school, becoming an engineer. That's the conventional image for people around the world. Help your child become a success, become a doctor, an engineer in the big city. Guess what? There are not many of those jobs. And that's why people get shoved into the city, and racial friction, absolute group conflict escalates as people are struggling over fewer jobs. Unemployment is a complete and direct result of policy. Unemployment has nothing to do with there's some natural supply of jobs that's just small and there are too many people. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm holding forth too much, but I hope to be in touch with all of you, and love hearing the discussion. It's so lovely to hear you all. Where are you from, Kin? Where are you from?
I'm calling from Vietnam.
Thank you all very much for letting me speak, but I'm coming from a good place. I'm well motivated, not earning any money from any of what I do, and yeah.
No, very, very grateful, Helena, and really honoring your life and your knowledge and your sharing, and everything you're saying is resonating. The only pushback or something that I want myself to think about, and I'm just vocalizing it from what you said, is that I grew up, in a joint family, with everything that you're talking about. But I think maybe certain, I don't want to sort of say a Western gaze, but like a gaze that is the other, that has maybe grown up in a nuclear family. I think a lot of times these discourses, which I find sort of don't really give the weight of the financial, sexual, cultural, psychological, negative impacts that these large groups and large families have and may have on the individual. So it seems very rosy that yes, there are 10, women to one child, but you will also have your local traditions and cultures that those women are then sort of, like you said, sort of the elder women are not always nurturing. Sometimes they are sort of, embodying the patriarchy to a very, very negative extent for these young mothers and young women. So, maybe today is not that forum, but I would love to hear from you. Maybe Karla and Amena can put like a panel, maybe in these 14 days or, your time permitting, to sort of explore those nuances of the human, ecological, sustainable, future that, yes, looks to the ancient, but like I think Irene was saying, and that was my point, it wasn't so much about the doctors and engineers as much as that the ancient, or even 5 years ago, what the land fertility was in certain parts of India or the world isn't there anymore. And the reasons are everything that you're highlighting. It is because of this extractionist, urbane, consumer, capitalist, free market. Yay, let's, hail libertarianism, but it's not working for everyone. It's a new kind of colonization. So I completely agree with you on that. But I think that the nuances are where the projects that you are talking about sometimes don't work, like they don't sort of fit, because the local needs are immediate needs. And so I think I'm coming from that perspective, that there are sort of fiscal and financial realities that all of us experience, and not all of us have the privilege to sort of, either the privilege or the purpose, right? Like, so what you're saying, like you just ended by saying that, you're not getting a lot of money out of this because that's your passion. You have found this one, I would say this is your spirituality, this is your religion, this is your way of giving back to all of us, like on planet Earth, through your missions, through your projects, and I'll admit that I don't know enough about it, and I am going to go back and read more, and definitely read your book Ancient Futures. But thank you so much for bringing your illumination to this moment. At least for me, I know that that's true.
Yeah, I would love the opportunity for us to have a discussion, particularly about what you were talking about with the extended family and the extended family in even Spain or India today. See, my experience of that, because I've lived in rural Spain, grew up in Sweden, but also saw what it was like in Ladakh and Bhutan, the perspective that I'm talking about, I completely agree with you. That extended family doesn't work within the context of the global marketplace. It becomes very stressed, it becomes extremely difficult. But then the question is, do you want to head towards Sweden or the extremes where now essentially it'll be a single parent living alone and maybe sharing a child, because the nuclear family doesn't work. It's a bipolar structure. So extended family doesn't work in this system either. What kind of a system do we need to create the relationships that we want? And there I would argue that the perspective I can offer can help us to have a certain clarity. But
I would love that.
Absolutely, it can sound very misleading if I'm sounding as though I think the extended family in India today or in Spain today is working. It's not.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's a longer discussion. I'd love us to have a panel discussion about it. That would be really great.
Thank you so much. I love that. Yes. So Karla and Amena, I'd like to invite you both, as well as I know a lot of you, might have to go due to different time zones. Yes.
I must go now, but thank you very much. Love talking to you. Love you all. Love you all.
Thank you, Helena. Stay well. Gonna read your book.
Forward to connecting soon, Helena. Take care.
Thank you, Helena. Thank you.
So yes, so I think that's been really nourishing, and I think that's what is the meditation that I would like to leave all of us with. That I think just we can take a few moments just to sort of connect to our hands, because like Helena said, that working with your body, this is what is really doing the work, right? So just connecting to every finger, caressing it, thanking it for being there, thanking it for, allowing the joints to be supple, to be flexible, and to just move them and rotate them. And then in the opposite direction, like you're going to do magic with these hands in your day-to-day life, and then involve the wrists. And then in the opposite direction. And I want you to sort of cup your hands and look at the lines of your hands. Look at each joint, look at each crevice, dent, almost like a landscape of your life that is residing in the palms of your hands. And I want us all to just have a simple conversation. It could be a line, it could be a word, that you wish to sort of communicate with the life that you lead, with the choices that you are going to make in the now and the future. And once you have communicated that thought, that intention, it could be a word, it could be a person, it could be a vision that you have, I want you to once again clasp your hands in an interlocked manner to know that that vision, that word, that affirmation, that conversation is not just yours alone. And as you breathe in and out, I want you to connect to, just by thought, by intention, by visualization, on all the people, the situations and places, and the tools that you're going to need internally and externally to take you to that point of transformation. Because every transition, be it in a piece of music from a concerto or a symphony, every transition of your physical body from birth to death, every transition of your life as a phase is not you alone. There are so many, many, many varied factors, people and situations and forces, like I said, that at times are aligned with our free will choice and at times are in conflict. So how do we heal that? That be it our free will choice or be it by force, we are going to surrender. And what does surrender look like? I want you to visualize that you're on one side of a riverbank and you have to get to the other side. You have the boat, you have the oar, you even have a life-proof water jacket. You have everything that you need in every eventuality. But surrender means that you wait patiently for the right current, and then you just ride that wave effortlessly to the other side. So patience and waiting for that right opportunity will then alleviate the helplessness and give you an empowered path ahead where you can always, always be rest assured that there's not just 1, 2, or 10, but an entire world of helpful souls waiting for you on the other side of the river. So embrace them, hug yourself, knowing that the greatest technology is you. And so use these hands, your heart, your head, your mind for good. And what does good mean? Goodness at its essence means that which is not destructive to yourself or others. Yay, yes.
Beautiful, Divya. Thank you.
I'm so happy, and I've got some lovely birds that have come to say hello and they've flown away.
I feel so much lightness after such serious sharing. Thank you for the reminder that there's a generous, kind group of helpful souls always on the other side of the riverbank that we're crossing. It's a beautiful image I'm going to carry with me from our opening circle this morning.
Thank you, Divya. Yes. I think as you were speaking, I was reminded of something that Divya's mom, Renuji, always reminds us in our spiritual journey with a tribe of healer souls, which is stay connected to that which makes your heart sing and your soul soar.
Yes.
So as we journey forward, may we all be in this innocent place, empowered place of togetherness, in intelligence, alertness, and awakeness. Just transitioning moment to moment in the now. So thank you, everyone. As we close the circle today, we would just like to take maybe a few more minutes to invite anything that is arising that needs to be shared as we close, any realization, reflection. There was also Lexi who had, offered that we might sing to a song together or listen into it. So Lexi, if that's still alive in you, we welcome that. So yes, please feel free to unmute yourself, share anything, reflection, realization, more rhythm. And we love you all. Thank you.
Perhaps the video of the Kids for Kids for the voice of the generation of climate activists going to COP26.
Sure. DJ, are we ready to roll that?
Yes, we're ready.
Hi guys, I'm Bella.
And I'm Tasha.
We're the co-founders of Kids for Kids and Tire Change Agency.
We're so excited to be here today to tell you about our transition journey.
So our transition journey started when we were 13 and Tasha was 15. And we just wanted to change the way giving was presented to the youth.
When we decided that we didn't want it to be something that felt like a chore, especially when we were in a school that graded us whether we'd give back or not. We wanted to really change the way giving back was presented to young people. And so it wasn't all about starting an organization at the beginning, but it was just really about changing the platform that we'd give to young people in order to enact all these different things they wanted to do to make a difference.
So we started Kids for Kids Philippines with a small group of friends. We were only about 5, and it was just an extracurricular activity that we do after class. And what we really liked was this peer-to-peer connection that we had with the kids. We never really treated them as beneficiaries, but more as, our new friends. And so that's what really helped, spark this compassionate giving in each and every one of us. And so after that, we decided to, we saw the, the change that the youth could make. So we wanted to partner up with different organizations to kind of do more than what we were already doing. So we partnered up with UNICEF, and we decided to raise funds for them. And instead of just collecting coins in a little box, we converted the entire giving thing into this race to raise funds for UNICEF.
And when we launched that first event, we were so surprised at how many young people turned up to really come and make a difference. And this was all while having fun. And when we saw that change happen, we decided that it was something we wanted to do in the long run. And so we released signups, we ended up gathering volunteers, and we ended up starting Kids for Kids. It was very informal at the beginning, and slowly when we started realizing that we needed to decide what was our long-term plan for this platform, and we decided that it was really all going to be about giving the child back the right to a safe environment. And this was because everything was always interconnected back to it. And it was all about how we could use our culture, since me and my sister grew up in a household where Filipino culture was presented everywhere to us, and it was something great. We decided to integrate that with our passion for climate justice, as well as integrating social justice into that, and of course just overall promoting children's rights throughout every action that we did, because we really believe young people are hope, and young people will create this avenue for us to build the new world.
From Group of 5, we became over 1,500 volunteers worldwide. And so seeing that change really just, kind of manifested that dream that we had as kids. We always said we wanted to change everything. When adults would ask us, oh, why did you start this? What do you want to change? We just said everything. And it was only, as we grew up and we realized that what we wanted to change was systematic change. We really believed in the intersection of climate justice and social justice, and that's exactly what we did with our work. We worked with different communities and taught them art therapy, or we taught them education through storytelling, on all these different things. We gave kids basically a platform in order to use their abilities and talents to benefit other people. And so that's when we started Tayo, because we realized, in order to change the system, in order to help, more communities, we really need to speak to the big people who are in charge of this entire system. So we started Tayo as a way to combine both creativity and sustainability in order to make positive change, whether it be, from big businesses to big organizations to individuals.
And this was all because we started Kids for Kids. Kids for Kids really showed us that you could turn your passion into purpose, and through that you could make positive change happen. And because we realized that young people have this sense of wonder always, we wanted to kind of figure out how to create this sense of wonder into a way where we could transform the system again, as Bella mentioned. And to us, our passion was design. We grew up really seeing the value of how we could use regenerative design in everyday life, and how it wasn't something that had to be expensive or grand, but regenerative design is understanding how you can come back to the ground and understand how you're connected to the earth. And that's what Tayo stands for. It's a change agency, because we realized in all this conversation about climate and social justice, there was one agent that was lacking, and this was talking about how design is truly a driver of change. And so that's why we started Tayo, a design change agency, where we could really work directly with individuals ground up and explain how we need to come back to our earth, and how we can actually be human beings that understand our connectivity to our home. And so when we talk about transition journey, I definitely think it's not always something with a formula. Transition journey is always talking about not just changing something, but really within yourself, slowly developing all these things that you want for the new world. And transitioning is not always something that's going to be easy, as we all know. It's something that's going to take time, but it's something that we can learn to do together.
We must realize that, in order to find your passions and make it into purpose, it's not really, something that you just keep on searching for. It's something that just comes to you, out of doing, your fun daily activities. It's just something that, there's just something that clicks. And so you have to understand that finding your purpose and your passion is not really so much a sprint, it's more of a marathon. It's more of really just, transitioning to, finding out yourself, and then, finding out how you yourself can help the community and then the environment. So that's our transition journey, and that's how we're able to, convert our passion for design into purpose, and then, help other people convert it, beyond profit, something beyond themselves. So thank you so much, and we're so excited for you guys to join this Grane Conference.
Beautiful share. Thank you. Kids for Kids, founding sisters Tasha and Bella, who have done the branding architecture for the Grane Conference 2021, and who made our with the marketing. Thank you so much. It feels right to close here, and on that note of and on that energy vibration of the sisters. Amanda's messaging that she would like to share a quote. Amanda, who came to us through the Kids for Kids Instagram, I think. Please do share, Amanda.
Oh, yeah. We don't find our purpose or our passion, we create it. And yeah, I honestly came in this session not knowing what to expect, and I left having cried from the meditation. It's been such a lonely journey. Just finding what works for me and what are the steps I need to take towards my future. And I'm sort of torn between this vision of myself where I don't fall into the conventional idea of what success is, but my parents, who are supposed to be financially supporting me for college, want that security, and they want the peace of mind that I'm gonna be fine as an adult. So they don't really resonate with my beliefs of working with the environment and me being a very holistic person. It's just there's a huge cognitive dissonance in our household, and I'm still trying to navigate through it. I'm still trying to find the community that sort of vibes with my energy. I don't know what's the best way to put it, but I'm very grateful to have found this online space. So thank you.
Amanda, thank you for being with us. We're your tribe. We're here for you.
Yes, thank you, Amanda. Thank you. It seems
thank you for also speaking up and sharing that. I think this time is a time when there's so much uncertainty, there's so much vulnerability. I haven't seen my parents in 18 months and I wake up missing them, and yeah, I think we're all going through this sense of, I don't even know what it is, but I'm glad we're coming together to just affirm that everything's okay, we're okay, and we're here for each other. Amena, before we say our a close for today, could we share the schedule for the next days in case people would like to join? Tomorrow is, we're following the COP26 themes.
Yes, BJ is just sharing the calendar, okay. And I just wanted to tell Amanda also that as we journey through, I wanted to share what's alive in me is that the future is bringing us together as circles and tribes for the work that's needed. So I want to just take this time to just offer gratitude to those unseen energies that are weaving us together. So Amanda, keep the faith and keep flowing with love and light. So this is our calendar for the journey forward for the next 13 days. And as you must have seen and read, that we're following the themes of the COP, aligning with that and including them in our journey of love and light and empowerment. And tomorrow is regeneration, which is Monday.
And we will have Weekend Wild Child and Healthy Dahan sharing with us. And I won't go into the details and keep too much time from you, but just be tuned into our calendar. Day 2 is agriculture, followed by social enterprise, energy, youth empowerment, biodiversity, and nature. That's the week 1. And then we have week 2, where we have Sunday as education, transition in educations, then Monday adaptation, indigenous people, gender and women, transport and travel, cities, built environment, and the closing ceremony. And in today's circle, what has emerged is, I think there is a calling for 1 or 2 new circles to come, as suggested by Helena and Divya, on transitions of families and the work of families in empowering this new world that we know is possible. And from my sense, I think the day of energy, we spoke so much about technology, and technology is an energy, is a force that we can mold with beautiful golden healing light. So later, I think our core team will go back and look at spaces in our schedule where we can merge in these new emerging conversations for transformation and healing. So travel and journey with us, and thank you. Thank you for finding your tribe. Thank you for making our family grow, and everybody who's joined us. Thank you. Aho. Karla, you're muted.
Would people like a photo together from our first day? If you feel, could somebody do a screenshot? I'm on my phone, so I can't do that. I can't see the whole.
I can do it.
Also,
Or
invite
DJ.
everyone to turn their videos on, cameras on, if they're okay.
Thank you, DJ. And just acknowledging DJ, who's been our one-man army for the tech, and been listening very silently to all the conversations, the man behind technology and making this manifest in the technological ether. So grateful hugs to you, DJ, for bringing us together through the ethers of technology. Okay.
Giselle, are you taking a picture?
Oh, okay. I can take it. All right. All right. Everybody in? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we still have Bridge, Helena, and Levy who don't have their cameras on.
I guess that's fine if they can just be.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Those who are ready.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. And safety. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Giselle. Thank you, everyone, for today. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.
Lots
Thank
of
you for your
love.
beautiful shares. Thank you, Karla and Lee.
Thank you. Lee, I was crying already at the start because of your music. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.